Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
The star, Rachel Zegler, is unbelievably charmless in public. She was, as woke as they are.
She just sounds bitter and angry.
I don't think they're gonna buy it. I don't think they're gonna watch it. I don't think they're gonna like it.
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable.
This truly is the worst casting, maybe, in the history of the film industry.
Rachel Zegler, she's an asshole.
You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. Right. You should shut up.
Spend 1 minute on Snow White and how it totally imploded at the box office this weekend.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings. I would highly advise that you boycott this film, no matter how much your children love Snow White.
Rachel Zegler's Hollywood fairy tale has taken a, let's call it an unexpected turn. 1 minute she was Disney's handpicked Snow White, poised to become Hollywood royalty. The next, she's pivoting harder than a failed startup, swapping enchanted castles for Broadway ballads faster than you can say box office disaster. Was it the woke remake curse? A case of self-sabotage? Or just another example of Hollywood learning the hard way that audiences don't like being lectured? Let's dig into the chaos, because this story is messier than a Disney executive's excuse for that $270 million budget. Once upon a time in the magical kingdom of Disney, a young actress named Rachel Zegler was handpicked to star as the iconic Snow White. With her breakout role in West Side Story, she was set to be Hollywood's next Golden Girl. Disney executives popped champagne, patting themselves on the back for their diverse casting coup, already mentally spending their bonuses. But like any good fairy tale, this one took a dark turn. The trouble started when Zegler, with the confidence of a social media warrior, decided to share her thoughts on the 1937 animated Snow White, a film beloved by generations. She declared the original story was, in fact, sexist, and dismissed the romantic arc as outdated, because nothing says strong female lead like dunking on the very fans who made the original a classic. But wait, there's more. Not only did she critique the story, but she also refused to sing its most famous song, "Someday My Prince Will Come." Disney's music department reportedly wept into their royalty checks. Clearly, Rachel's vision for Snow White was a little less happily ever after, and a little more boss babe trademark. And the internet, oh, they had thoughts. Memes exploded faster than Disney's crisis PR team could say, review bombing. You see, when you land a lead role in a $270 million Disney film, there are a few unspoken rules. Show up, smile, and don't insult the fans who fund your paycheck. Rule number 4, if you must trash the original film, at least wait until after you've cashed the check. Unfortunately, Zegler seemed to miss that memo. Her interviews quickly became viral disasters. Clips surfaced of her talking about how Snow White doesn't need a man, and how this version of the story would be so much stronger than the original. Translation? We rewrote a classic, sprinkled in some modern buzzwords, and hoped nobody would notice. Disney fans, film critics, and even casual viewers started turning against her. The backlash was so intense, you'd think she'd canceled free Dole Whips at the parks. And just when things couldn't get worse, Zegler posted Free Palestine mid-promo tour. Disney's PR team? They weren't just drafting resignation letters, they were actively applying for jobs at DreamWorks. Then came the moment of truth. The Snow White remake finally hit theaters. And let's just say, it didn't exactly enchant the box office. $43 million opening weekend, against a $270 million budget. That's not a flop, and that's a financial war crime. If Disney were a smaller studio, this would be the kind of loss that sparks bankruptcy rumors. For context, the Super Mario Brothers movie made that in a single day. Trolls Band Together out-earned it, and its entire plot was basically, what if NSYNC but with glitter? Disney probably lost more money on popcorn markdowns than Rachel Zegler's entire net worth. The critics? Ruthless. The audience? Indifferent at best, actively hostile at worst. The words box office bomb started trending, And over in Burbank, Disney execs were reaching for the emergency whiskey. Even the stock market reacted. Disney's stock price dropped faster than a poisoned apple down Snow White's throat. And just like that, what was supposed to be a blockbuster reimagining had become an expensive cautionary tale. With the Snow White fiasco now a smoldering wreck in Disney's vault of regrettable decisions, Rachel Zegler did what any Hollywood actor does when faced with overwhelming controversy. She pivoted. Hard. And her new direction? Shrek the Musical. Yes, folks, Rachel Zegler has officially gone from fairest of them all to somebody once told me her cover of Who I'd Be isn't just a career reset. It's a full-scale retreat to safer, meme-proof territory. Because let's be honest, Shrek is too beloved to criticize. Seriously, try it. The internet will hunt you down.
Good luck.
Donkey wouldn't trash talk the original film. He knows better. Zero risk of Fiona posting anything that sends a studio's PR team into cardiac arrest. This isn't just a career pivot, it's a survival strategy. After all, when one fairy tale burns down, you find another, preferably one with a built-in fan base and no risk of woke backlash. Is it working? Early signs point to desperate, but hey, you've got to admire the hustle. Because if Hollywood has taught us anything, it's that redemption arcs sell. And if all else fails, well, there's always Shrek 5. But Rachel Zegler's troubles weren't just about Snow White. No, this wasn't just a case of an actress criticizing a classic film. This was a full-blown, self-inflicted PR meltdown. And social media was her enchanted mirror, reflecting every misstep in real time. During the promotional period, while Disney was desperately trying to convince audiences that this bold reimagining was worth their time, Zegler decided to stir the pot in the most spectacular way possible. She posted "Free Palestine," a highly charged political statement, in the same thread where she was celebrating the film's trailer, reaching 120 million views. Because nothing says, "Hey, go watch my movie," quite like immediately pivoting to geopolitics. The timing was so catastrophically bad, Disney executives reportedly aged 20 years on the spot. Some say they still wander the halls of Burbank, clutching stress balls and whispering, "Why couldn't she just post an emoji?" Producer Mark Platt, already playing damage control over the film's other controversies, flew to New York to personally intervene. According to insiders, his plea went something like this: "Rachel, we paid you millions to promote a Disney movie, not to reenact the Gaza conflict in our comment sections." But Zegler, unmoved, she refused to delete the post, refused to tone it down, and, by all accounts, refused to read the room. And just like that, Disney's marketing campaign was officially cursed. Another controversial choice? Replacing the 7 dwarfs with CGI magical creatures. Not because nothing says progress like erasing little people from jobs. Peter Dinklage called it out. Fans revolted, and Disney was left scrambling to explain why their inclusive remake somehow offended everyone. Meanwhile, in Burbank, Exec 1. Maybe we should have just called them vertically challenged allies. Exec 2. Too late. The HR complaints are already piling up higher than our reshoot bills. So where does this leave Rachel Zegler? Still employed somehow. She's set for a London stage production because in Hollywood, failure is just a stepping stone if you blame the right people. As for Disney, they'll keep pumping out live-action remakes until the sun explodes. Because if there's one thing they've learned, it's that nostalgia sells, unless you actively insult the nostalgic. This isn't just a cautionary tale about Zegler. It's about an industry so obsessed with messaging, it forgot how to tell stories. And until that changes, expect more flops, more pivots, and more Shrek covers.